Captain Nathan Drake lay in the rubble of the battlefield, his armor scorched, his body aching, and his mind numb. The Galactic War had finally ended, but the victory felt hollow. Smoke rose from the shattered remains of alien warships and human tanks alike, drifting across the broken moonscape. Silence hung heavy, broken only by the faint groans of the wounded and the crackle of distant fires. Nathan's eyes scanned the horizon. Once, this war had promised glory, honor, and the chance to prove humanity's strength among the stars. Now it only left bodies, ruin, and questions. How many had died? How many planets were reduced to ash? He did not know. All he knew was that he had survived, alone. He shifted, wincing as pain shot through his legs. His communicator was smashed, and the radios were dead. Supply lines were cut. Command was gone. He was just one human soldier, standing in a galaxy full of enemies, friends, and remnants of battles that no one would remember. Suddenly, a faint hum came from above. Nathan squinted and saw a hovering vessel descending. It was sleek, unlike any human ship. Its design was elegant, almost like it was alive, with smooth curves and lights that shimmered like stars. A hatch opened, and a holographic figure projected into the air. "Captain Nathan Drake," the voice said, deep and calm, yet strangely melodic. "You are alive. We have a task for you." Nathan sat up slowly, wary. Who are you?" he asked, his voice hoarse. "I am the representative of the Galactic Council," the hologram replied. "The war is over. Many have perished. Many more have lost their homes. Some losses cannot be repaired. But in the aftermath, certain duties must be fulfilled. You, Captain Drake, are to inherit a responsibility, a charge of great importance." Nathan frowned. "I don't understand. I've fought and survived. That's enough." The hologram shimmered, and an image appeared behind it, a woman unlike any Nathan had ever seen. Her skin shimmered with a soft golden hue, her eyes large and filled with intelligence. Her hair flowed like silver, catching light even in the hologram. She wore robes of intricate design, the symbols of a culture long thought destroyed. "This is Princess Lyra," the hologram continued. "She is the last heir of her people. Her homeworld was lost in the war. As part of reparations and protection, you are entrusted to her care. You will ensure her safety and help her secure her place in the galaxy." Nathan stared at the image, trying to comprehend. "You want me to take care of an alien princess?" "Yes," the hologram said simply. "Your survival proves your skill, your courage, and your resilience. These qualities make you suitable for this task. You will leave immediately." Nathan rubbed his face, disbelief and exhaustion battling inside him. He had survived wars, ambushes, and countless death traps, but this was something entirely different. "I don't know the first thing about royal aliens," he muttered. "You will learn," the hologram replied. "The galaxy watches, Captain. Your actions will shape more than one life. Do not fail." The vessel descended fully, its hatch opening with a soft hiss. Nathan stood, testing his legs, and stepped forward. Inside, the cabin was unlike any human ship he had seen. Lights shifted in colors he had never imagined, and the air smelled faintly of ozone and flowers, an impossible combination. A small platform at the center held a seat, and beside it, a containment field shimmered. Inside, Princess Lyra appeared again, alive but calm, her eyes meeting Nathan's as if she could see his every thought. Nathan swallowed hard. "All right, Princess Lyra," he said, his voice steady despite the chaos in his mind. "Let's go home." Lyra tilted her head slightly, a faint smile forming. It was not warmth, not yet, but curiosity. Nathan felt a strange shift inside him. Despite her alien features, despite the galaxy between them, there was a connection, something unspoken that said, We will need each other. The ship lifted, and Nathan felt the subtle tug of acceleration. Below, the battlefield receded, the smoldering remains of war fading into the distance. Around him, the stars seemed both familiar and alien, a reminder that humanity had survived, and now had a chance to reach further than ever before. As the vessel sailed through space, Nathan tried to make sense of his new role. He had survived the war, but could he survive the politics, the mysteries, and the expectations of an alien princess? He didn't know. All he knew was that he could not fail. Lyra spoke softly, her voice melodic even without words. "You are different from the others," she said. "You fight with strength, but your eyes, they hold something more. Courage, honor. I feel it." Nathan glanced at her, surprised. You feel that about me?" Lyra's gaze did not waver. "It is not about you. It is about what humans can be. I have seen your people fight, adapt, survive. You are not like the others in this galaxy. You are rare." Nathan swallowed, unsure what to say. He had never thought of humans as rare. He had fought alongside them, died alongside them, and yet here, a being from another world recognized something unique. Something worthy. Hours passed in quiet travel. Nathan learned that Lyra had been only a teenager when her homeworld was destroyed. She had lost her family, her people, and the entire future of her civilization. The weight she carried was immense, and Nathan could see the pain even through her composed exterior. For the first time in years, Nathan felt a purpose beyond survival. He was no longer just a soldier wandering a shattered galaxy. He had someone to protect, someone to guide, someone who could remind him why humanity fought and why it mattered. The ship finally slowed near a neutral world, a place of peace, untouched by the war. As they prepared to land, Nathan stood at the viewport, looking at the horizon. He felt the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders, but he also felt hope. "Whatever comes next," Nathan said quietly, more to himself than to Lyra. "We face it together. I won't let anything happen to you." Lyra's eyes softened slightly, the faintest hint of trust appearing. "I believe you, human," she replied. "Let us see if your people are truly as extraordinary as I have heard." The ship touched down on the neutral planet, engines quieting. Nathan and Lyra stepped onto the surface, both aware that their journey had only just begun. The war was over, but survival in this new galaxy would require more than weapons. It would require courage, understanding, and a bond neither of them had yet imagined. Above them, the twin suns of the planet began to set, casting golden light across the land. For Nathan, the future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. In a galaxy that had lost so much, he had gained a purpose, and perhaps an unexpected companion. And so, in the aftermath of war, the human soldier and the alien princess took their first steps together, not as master and subject, but as two souls navigating a galaxy full of danger, wonder, and hope. The neutral planet looked peaceful from above, but Nathan Drake knew better than to trust appearances. The war had taught him that danger could hide behind beauty. He stepped off the ship, his boots pressing into the soft, golden sand of the landing zone. Princess Lyra followed, her posture elegant, but her eyes alert, scanning the surroundings. Nathan could feel her tension. The war had taken everything from her, her people, her homeworld, her family. Now she was dependent on him, a human soldier she barely knew. He wanted to reassure her, but words felt small compared to the weight of her loss. "Stay close," Nathan said quietly, his voice firm but calm. "I don't know what's waiting here, but we need to be ready for anything." Lyra nodded, her long silver hair shimmering in the sunlight. "I trust you," she said softly. "But trust is not enough. We need allies. We need to secure my place in the galaxy before others try to take it from me. Nathan frowned. Your place? You mean political power? Lyra's eyes darkened slightly. Power is not the word I prefer. Influence, protection, survival. My people are gone. If I do not act, no one will remember them, and no one will protect what is left of my legacy. I cannot rely on humans alone, no matter how brave. Nathan exhaled slowly. He had fought wars for humanity, but alien politics were another battlefield entirely. Still, he could not abandon her. Then we face it together, he said. You talk. I watch your back. Deal? Lyra studied him, as if measuring the truth in his words. Then she gave a faint nod. Deal, she replied. They walked toward the city in the distance, its architecture unlike anything Nathan had seen. Towers spiraled skyward, their surfaces reflecting the twin suns. Bridges of light connected floating platforms. Vehicles hovered silently, moving between platforms with precision and grace. The city seemed alive, almost breathing, as though it had a mind of its own. As they entered the city, Nathan immediately noticed how the alien citizens regarded Lyra. Heads turned, eyes widened, and whispers filled the air. They recognized her, even after the war. She was royalty, the last of her line, and Nathan, well, he was clearly human. Lyra ignored the stares, but Nathan could feel the tension in her shoulders. He placed a reassuring hand on her arm. They'll get used to me, he said with a small smile. Besides, humans have a way of surprising people. Their destination was the Hall of Records, where Lyra needed to present herself to officials and secure her inheritance. The hall was enormous, with walls of crystal and floors of polished stone. Robotic attendants moved silently, scanning every visitor with precise efficiency. Inside, they were met by Counselor Valen, an elder alien with green-tinted skin and eyes that glowed faintly. His presence was commanding, and his gaze rested on Lyra with both respect and expectation. Princess Lyra, Valen said, bowing slightly, it has been too long. The galaxy mourns your people. Lyra inclined her head. Thank you, Counselor. I am here to claim my responsibility and secure the future of what remains of my people. Valen's eyes shifted to Nathan. And you are? Nathan Drake, Nathan said, stepping forward. I am assigned to protect her and ensure her safe passage through your council and any complications. Valen's gaze studied him carefully. A human, bold yet unconventional. He raised an eyebrow. Very well. If you are capable, you shall accompany the princess. But know this. The council tests all who claim influence. Some tests are not of strength, but of wit and diplomacy. Nathan's jaw tightened. He had survived ambushes, firefights, and ship crashes. Diplomacy was different, but he would not let Lyra face it alone. The council led them to a chamber where Lyra's claim would be validated. The room was circular, filled with holographic projections of her homeworld, her people, and the ruins left by the war. Officials hovered around the projections, discussing in a language Nathan could not understand. Lyra stepped forward. Her voice was calm, but there was steel beneath it. I stand as the last heir. My people's legacy will not be forgotten. I ask the council to recognize me and my protector, Captain Nathan Drake, as my companion in securing the future of our people's memory. A murmur passed through the room. Nathan could feel the tension building. The council did not easily accept outsiders, especially humans. Some aliens even whispered, questioning his presence, his loyalty, and his abilities. One of the counselors, a tall figure with crystalline skin, spoke. How can we trust that a human soldier understands the responsibilities of an alien heir? Nathan stepped forward, raising his voice. I've fought in wars that spanned galaxies. I've seen planets fall, lives destroyed, and civilizations crushed. I know what it means to survive, to protect, and to make impossible decisions. I may be human, but I know duty when I see it. I will not fail her." Lyra's eyes softened slightly. He speaks the truth. He has faced death and returned. His loyalty is proven in ways words cannot describe. The council was silent for a moment, as if weighing the sincerity of Nathan's words. Then slowly, one by one, the councilors nodded. Finally, the leader, a being with silver wings and eyes like molten gold, spoke. "So it shall be," the leader said. "Princess Lyra is recognized as the last heir. Captain Nathan Drake shall remain by her side. Together you may navigate the challenges ahead." Relief washed over Nathan, though he did not show it. Lyra gave him a faint smile, one of the first he had seen since the war began. It was not a smile of happiness, there was too much weight for that, but it was trust. As they left the council chamber, Nathan felt the gravity of his new role. The war had ended, but their journey was only beginning. Alien politics were just as dangerous as any battlefield. Decisions made here could save lives, or destroy them. Lyra walked beside him, her silver hair brushing against her shoulders. "You were impressive," she said quietly. "I did not expect a human to speak with such conviction." Nathan shrugged. "I speak the truth. That's all I have." She nodded. "Then let us hope the galaxy values truth as much as we do." Their first test had passed, but Nathan knew more challenges awaited. Rival factions, remnants of the defeated warlords, and even those within the council might try to undermine Lyra's claim. Every step forward would require vigilance, courage, and the trust they were slowly building between them. As they returned to their ship, Nathan looked at Lyra. "We've survived battles together already. Now we survive politics, and I promise no one will harm you as long as I stand." Lyra's gaze met his, steady and unwavering. "I believe you, human. Let us see how far we can go." The twin suns set behind them, casting long shadows over the city. The war was over, but the galaxy was far from safe. Nathan and Lyra had survived one trial, but countless others awaited, and together they would face them all. For the first time since the war began, Nathan felt hope, not just for survival, but for the future, for the galaxy, and for the bond forming between a human soldier and a stunning alien princess. The ship soared above the star-strewn expanse, leaving the neutral planet far behind. Nathan Drake sat in the pilot's seat, hands resting on the controls, though the ship largely flew itself. Princess Lyra sat across from him, eyes focused on the stars streaming past the viewport. For a long moment, neither spoke. The quiet was not uncomfortable. Nathan had learned that sometimes silence said more than words. Lyra had survived the destruction of her homeworld. She carried the weight of an entire civilization in her thoughts. He could feel it in the way she held herself, poised yet tense. Nathan finally broke the silence. "Do you ever think about your people?" he asked softly. Lyra's gaze shifted to him, her golden eyes reflecting the distant stars. "Every day," she replied. "I see their faces in my dreams. I hear their voices when the galaxy is quiet. I feel their presence in the decisions I must make. They are gone, but their memory, their legacy, it remains." Nathan nodded, understanding more than he expected. Humans, too, had lost worlds and loved ones. They had survived against impossible odds. "Then we make sure their memory is not forgotten," he said. "One step at a time." Lyra's expression softened slightly, a rare glimpse of vulnerability. "You are different from the others, Nathan. You speak not with pride, but with responsibility. That is rare in your species." Nathan shrugged, a faint smile crossing his face. I guess war changes people. Makes you see what really matters. Their calm was interrupted by a sudden alert on the ship's sensors. Nathan leaned forward, studying the readout. "We've got company," he muttered. "Unknown vessel approaching fast. Could be pirates, could be trouble." Lyra's hand rested lightly on the arm of her seat. "Show me," she said. Her voice carried calm authority, even in danger. Nathan adjusted the controls. On the viewport, a sleek black ship appeared, moving at high speed. Its design was aggressive, with weapons glinting under the starlight. Nathan's jaw tightened. "Remnants of the war, I bet. Someone who thinks they can take advantage of a princess traveling alone." Lyra's gaze remained steady. "Then we do not allow them," she said. Nathan nodded. "Agreed." He activated the ship's defensive systems. Shields hummed to life, and energy beams charged along the hull. "Hold on," he warned, as the enemy ship closed the distance rapidly. The attack came suddenly. Energy blasts streaked across the void, striking the ship's shields. Nathan maneuvered expertly, dodging and weaving through the blasts. Lyra leaned forward, studying the enemy's pattern. "Their formation is predictable," she observed. "Focus on the left flank. It is weaker." Nathan glanced at her in surprise. You can analyze tactical situations like this?" Lyra's eyes met his. "Survival requires it. Even as a princess, I learned to understand strategy. My people taught me well." Following her guidance, Nathan adjusted the ship's course. He targeted the enemy's left side, firing with precision. The first ship faltered, its shields failing under the combined effort. Nathan smiled, feeling the familiar thrill of action, tempered now with a sense of protection rather than destruction. "Good," Lyra said calmly. "Now press forward. They will retreat only if they fear you." Nathan pushed the ship harder, dodging and countering. Within moments, the enemy vessels scattered, retreating into the darkness of space. The threat was gone, but the tension remained. Nathan exhaled slowly. That was close. Too close. Lyra studied him, her expression thoughtful. "You saved us both. I did not expect such courage. I am beginning to understand why humans survive where others fail." Nathan gave a small shrug. "I just do what needs to be done. That's all any soldier can do." The rest of the journey to the next star system passed without incident. They visited alien worlds, each one unique in culture and environment. Nathan marveled at the diversity. Forests that glowed under twin suns, cities built on floating rocks, and oceans that reflected the sky like liquid mirrors. Lyra guided him through each encounter with grace and wisdom. She spoke to diplomats in their languages, negotiated terms of trade and protection, and navigated traditions Nathan could barely comprehend. Through it all, Nathan provided quiet strength. His presence alone reassured allies and warned potential enemies that Lyra was not without protection. One evening, as the ship traveled through the calm stretch between star systems, Nathan found himself sitting beside Lyra. "Do you ever get lonely?" he asked quietly. Lyra looked at him, her eyes reflecting the distant stars. "Every day. But loneliness is not weakness. It is a reminder of what we must protect, what we must endure, and what we must fight for. You understand that, don't you?" Nathan nodded slowly. "I do. I've been alone for a long time. But now, not really. Not when you're here." Lyra's expression softened further. "Perhaps humans are not so different from us after all. Courage, loyalty, hope. These are qualities that transcend species." Nathan felt a warmth he had not known in years. He had survived countless battles, but the challenge of connecting with someone, understanding someone so different, felt even greater. And yet he wanted to rise to it. The next challenge came sooner than expected. A message arrived from a distant council questioning Lyra's right to inherit her title. They doubt me, Lyra said quietly, reading the translation. They say a human cannot influence my decisions. They do not trust outsiders. Nathan placed a reassuring hand on her arm. Then we show them. We show them that loyalty, skill, and courage are not limited by species. Lyra met his gaze, determination flashing in her eyes. Yes. Together we will prove them wrong. For days, they traveled to the Council's location, facing minor attacks from rogue factions and navigating treacherous space storms. Each challenge brought them closer, forming a bond of mutual respect, understanding, and trust. Nathan learned about Lyra's hopes and fears. Lyra learned about human resilience, adaptability, and the capacity to rise above odds. Finally, they arrived at the Council world, a massive, shimmering city that floated above a planet of clouds. The Council awaited them, skeptical and cold. Nathan could feel their judgment, but he remained calm. Lyra stepped forward, her posture regal, her voice steady. Captain Nathan Drake and I come to prove that survival, loyalty, and courage have no bounds of species, she declared. We are here together, not as protector and protected, but as allies. Judge us by our actions, not by expectation. Nathan stood beside her, silent but ready. He knew the trials ahead would test them further, but he also knew they could face anything as long as they stood together. And for the first time since the war began, Nathan felt that he was not only surviving, he was becoming part of something greater, something worth fighting for, something worth protecting. The Council remained silent, but Nathan could feel the shift in the air. Their bond, forged in fire and trust, had already begun to change perceptions. The human soldier and the alien princess were no longer merely survivors. They were a force to be reckoned with. Above the council chambers, the stars sparkled like distant promises. Nathan and Lyra exchanged a glance, a silent agreement passing between them. Together they would face the galaxy, its dangers and its challenges. And together they would endure. The council chambers loomed before Nathan and Princess Lyra, massive and imposing. Towers of crystal spiraled into the sky, reflecting the light of distant stars. The air hummed with tension. Today their trial would truly begin, not with weapons or battle, but with words, diplomacy, and cunning. Nathan was a soldier, trained for combat, not politics. Yet he felt ready. Lyra walked beside him, her posture straight, her face serene. Remember, she said quietly, strength is not always in power. Sometimes it is in patience, strategy, and observation. Nathan nodded. I can observe. I've survived worse than a council's scrutiny. But I'll admit, diplomacy is a battlefield I'm not used to. Lyra's lips curved into a faint smile. Then let your actions speak. That is often louder than words. Inside the chamber, council members gathered, each representing worlds destroyed, rebuilt, or reshaped by the war. Some eyes glowed with suspicion, others with faint curiosity. Nathan felt the weight of centuries of alien expectations on his shoulders. The council leader, a silver-winged being with eyes like molten gold, began. Princess Lyra, Captain Nathan Drake, you have survived the remnants of war and arrived here unscathed, yet your claim to influence and authority is questioned. Some believe a human should not guide an alien heir. You will prove your worth, not with words alone, but with action. Nathan swallowed hard. Action. That he could do. We are ready, he said firmly. A counselor spoke next, her crystalline skin reflecting the chamber lights. Many factions remain unsettled. Rogue warlords and mercenaries still threaten stability. If you cannot secure your princess, the galaxy risks chaos. How will you respond, human? Nathan glanced at Lyra. She gave him a calm nod, her eyes filled with trust. That was all he needed. We respond with strategy, he said. I will combine my knowledge of tactics with the princess's insight and influence. Together, we will stabilize the regions that remain unstable, and we will do it before others have a chance to strike. The council murmured among themselves. Some seemed impressed, others skeptical. Lyra stepped forward, her voice clear and authoritative. Captain Nathan Drake is not here merely as a human soldier. He is a partner in ensuring the safety and future of what remains of my people. His skill, courage, and intellect are proven in battle. I trust him completely. Nathan felt a rare warmth at her words. Trust from someone like Lyra was precious, hard-earned, and he would not betray it. The council presented their first test, a map of the war-torn sectors, highlighting unstable regions, rogue factions, and unsettled worlds. Nathan and Lyra would need to plan interventions to stabilize them without inciting further conflict. Nathan studied the map carefully. We need to focus on two things, he said quietly, pointing. First, the regions most likely to be exploited. Second, the factions that can be persuaded through diplomacy. Force only works when words fail, and words only work when backed by presence. Lyra nodded. Agreed. Your approach is human, yet it complements alien strategy. We combine these methods. For days, they worked together, navigating a galaxy still healing from war. Nathan's experience in combat and logistics complemented Lyra's knowledge of diplomacy and tradition. They traveled to unsettled planets, met with wary leaders, and diffused conflicts before they could ignite. Nathan learned alien customs, languages, and protocols. Lyra learned human pragmatism, quick decision-making, and creative problem-solving. On one jungle-covered planet, they faced a particularly delicate situation. A rogue faction had seized control of a vital resource, threatening nearby colonies. Nathan suggested a direct approach, but Lyra proposed negotiation. Sometimes we must show strength, she said, but also respect their customs. We cannot appear as conquerors. Nathan adjusted his plan. They landed, met with the faction's leader, and negotiated a settlement. Nathan's presence alone, a human soldier who had faced countless dangers, lent credibility to Lyra's words. By combining diplomacy with the subtle display of strength, the faction agreed to cooperate peacefully. That night, as they camped under twin moons, Nathan looked at Lyra. I'm beginning to understand your people, he said. Strategy isn't just about fighting. It's about thinking 10 steps ahead. Lyra smiled faintly. And I'm beginning to understand yours. Sometimes action speaks louder than words, even in diplomacy. Your courage is refreshing, Nathan. He chuckled softly. Refreshing, huh? I'll take it. But not all challenges could be solved with calm reasoning. One night, while resting on a desert planet, a shadowy group attacked them. Nathan's instincts kicked in. Weapons drawn, he moved with precision, covering Lyra as she used her knowledge to disarm traps and anticipate enemy moves. Together they fought as a unit. Nathan's combat skills and Lyra's insight created an unstoppable combination. When the attackers fled, Nathan surveyed the damage. Lyra was unharmed, but the encounter had reminded them both that danger still lurked. Nathan placed a hand on her shoulder. We can handle them, he said, but we need to be ready for anything. Lyra nodded, her eyes serious. Yes, this is a galaxy that still holds the shadows of war. But with you, I feel prepared. Together we are stronger than anyone expects. As days turned to weeks, their partnership deepened. Trust became reliance. Reliance became understanding, and understanding began to form the foundation of friendship. Nathan admired Lyra's wisdom, her ability to see possibilities beyond the obvious. Lyra admired Nathan's courage, his ingenuity, and the quiet strength he brought to every decision. Finally, they returned to the council chambers, presenting the results of their efforts. Several regions had stabilized. Rogue factions had either been persuaded to join peaceful alliances or neutralized with minimal conflict. Nathan's human ingenuity and Lyra's alien insight had proven effective. The council watched silently, some members nodding, others skeptical but impressed. The leader, silver-winged and imposing, spoke. "Captain Nathan Drake and Princess Lyra, your actions demonstrate that courage, strategy, and trust can bridge worlds. You have proven that partnership, even between species, can achieve what alone cannot. The Council recognizes your efforts." Nathan exhaled, a sense of relief washing over him. Lyra gave him a subtle nod of acknowledgement. They had passed this test, but both knew that the galaxy would continue to challenge them. As they left the chamber, Nathan looked at Lyra. "We make a good team," he said quietly. Lyra's eyes softened, and she allowed a small smile. "Yes, perhaps the galaxy will remember that humans are capable of more than survival. Perhaps it will remember that they can protect, support, and inspire." Nathan's heart lifted. After war, after loss, after endless battles, he had found purpose once again. Not just as a soldier, but as a partner, a protector, and perhaps something more to the alien princess he had inherited. Above them, the stars glittered with possibility. Nathan and Lyra were not just surviving, they were shaping the galaxy, proving that courage and intelligence could overcome suspicion and fear. Together, human and princess, they had faced politics, threats, and challenges, and together they would continue, ready for whatever the universe had in store. The galaxy was quiet, but not peaceful. Remnants of war still lingered, small fleets of pirates, rogue warlords, and opportunists who hoped to take advantage of the weakened systems. Nathan Drake and Princess Lyra had faced many challenges, but today the stakes were higher than ever. Reports arrived at their ship. A coalition of rogue factions had gathered near a vital trade route. If they succeeded, countless colonies would face chaos, famine, and fear. Nathan and Lyra prepared for action. Lyra stood beside him on the bridge, her eyes calm yet focused. "We cannot allow them to succeed," she said. "Too much depends on this. Too many lives are at risk." Nathan nodded, studying the star maps. "We've dealt with threats before, but this is larger. Strategy alone won't be enough. We'll need courage, and we'll need allies." Lyra's gaze softened slightly. "Then let us combine our strengths. Human action and alien insight together can overcome even the greatest threats." They devised a plan. Nathan would lead a tactical strike to disable the rogue fleet's command vessels, while Lyra would use diplomacy and influence to persuade neutral factions to withdraw support from the rogues. Timing and coordination were critical. Failure could mean disaster. As they approached the rogue fleet, Nathan's hands moved with precision over the controls, shields activated, weapons primed. The enemy ships noticed them and opened fire, energy beams slicing through the void. Nathan maneuvered the ship with skill, dodging blasts, while Lyra monitored communications. "They are relying on fear," she said. "If we show them resolve, many will reconsider their loyalty." Nathan's jaw tightened. "Then let's make sure they see our resolve." He unleashed a precise barrage, targeting the enemy's command vessels. Explosions lit the darkness of space. Panic spread through the rogue fleet. Some ships fled, others surrendered. Lyra activated the ship's communication array. "To all factions present, this conflict benefits no one but chaos itself. Stand down and you will be spared. Continue and you will face the consequences." One by one, neutral factions withdrew. The rogue commanders realized their advantage was gone. Nathan pressed the attack, disabling key vessels while minimizing destruction. Together, Their combination of human determination and Lyra's diplomatic influence brought victory without unnecessary bloodshed. As the last rogue ship fled, Nathan exhaled, his muscles tense from hours of focus. Lyra stood beside him, calm as ever, yet her eyes reflected relief. "We did it," she said quietly. "The galaxy is safer because of our actions." Nathan smiled faintly. "We did it together." The success of their mission sent ripples across the galaxy. Systems stabilized. Colonies once threatened by chaos now flourished. News of a human soldier and an alien princess working as equals spread quickly. Many began to admire and respect them, not just for their courage, but for their cooperation and ingenuity. Back on the Council world, Nathan and Lyra presented the results of their efforts. Council members watched in silence as reports detailed the stabilization of multiple systems, the peaceful resolution of conflicts, and the prevention of chaos. The Council leader, silver-winged and imposing, finally spoke. "Captain Nathan Drake and Princess Lyra, your actions demonstrate what few believed possible. Trust, courage, and collaboration between species can overcome even the most difficult challenges. Humanity, through your skill and resolve, has proven its worth to the galaxy." Nathan's heart swelled with pride, not for himself, but for humanity, for all the soldiers who had fought and fallen, for the people he had survived to protect. He glanced at Lyra. Her expression was calm, but her eyes shone with approval. Lyra stepped forward. "The galaxy has changed," she said. "Humanity has shown strength, wisdom, and honor. And Captain Nathan Drake, he has proven that humans can be more than survivors. They can be leaders, partners, and protectors." Nathan swallowed hard. Words like these were rare for him, and coming from Lyra, they carried immense weight. "Thank you," he said quietly. "But I could not have done it without you." Lyra allowed herself a small smile. "Nor could I have done it without you. Together, we have shaped the future, and together we will continue to do so." With the Council's recognition, Lyra officially named Nathan as her consort and co-strategist. It was unprecedented, a human holding such a position beside an alien princess, but the galaxy had seen their courage, their wisdom, and their partnership. Few could argue against their combined abilities. Nathan adjusted to his new role carefully. He continued to protect Lyra, advise her, and travel across star systems, meeting leaders and stabilizing regions. But he also learned from her about diplomacy, culture, and the subtle ways the galaxy worked. Lyra learned from him as well, about human ingenuity, adaptability, and the value of courage in the face of uncertainty. One evening, aboard their ship, Nathan looked out at the stars. "Do you ever think about how far we've come?" he asked softly. Lyra stood beside him, her hand brushing lightly against his. "Every day," she said. "From war and loss to trust and alliance, we have changed the galaxy, and we have changed each other." Nathan smiled, feeling a sense of peace he had not known in years. "I never imagined surviving the war would lead to this. Not just surviving, but this. Partnership, respect, purpose." Lyra turned to him, her golden eyes warm. "You are not just a soldier, Nathan. You are a symbol of what humanity can achieve. Courage, loyalty, and intelligence. These are qualities that bridge worlds, and you possess them all." Nathan's heart beat faster, not from fear, but from recognition. For the first time in years, he felt that his life had meaning beyond survival. He had fought countless battles, but this was the victory that mattered most. The galaxy had survived its war, and now it had hope. Hope that humans could rise above expectation, that aliens and humans could work together, and that peace, though fragile, was possible. Nathan and Lyra stood together on the ship's observation deck, looking out at the endless stars. Behind them lay a galaxy scarred by war. Ahead lay a galaxy full of potential, challenges, and adventures yet to come. Whatever comes next, Nathan said quietly, we face it together. No matter what the galaxy throws at us, we stand united. Lyra nodded, her expression serene. Yes, together we will protect, guide, and inspire. And the galaxy will know that humanity is not just a survivor. It is a force to be respected. As the twin suns of a nearby system rose, casting golden light across the ship's deck, Nathan and Lyra clasped hands, their bond unspoken but unbreakable. The human soldier had inherited an alien princess, but more than that, he had inherited purpose, trust, and partnership. The galaxy, still fragile but now filled with hope, watched as a human and a princess shaped its future. And for Nathan Drake, the war was finally over, but a new adventure had just begun. Together, they would face whatever the universe had in store, proving that courage, loyalty, and partnership could overcome any obstacle. And the story of the human soldier and the alien princess would be remembered not for war, but for honor, heart, and hope.